Barbie!
I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerve herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Joey, the trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to episode 51 of the Real Serious Podcast. Packed episode today. 3 movies, 3 great ones we're going to talk about. But most importantly, the Colts are dead. So sorry to all of our Indianapolis listeners, but the Colts are no longer alive. But hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you had a good Christmas. Jack, talk to us about whatever you want. Maybe the Colts, but how are you feeling?
There was quick thing about the Colts. There was never a doubt that we were going to choke one of the easiest remaining opponents. Like, come on.
Who wanted to lose?
Yeah. I mean, they want the number one, or I guess the Patriots have the number 1 pick now, so that'll be interesting. But
yeah, one of the more shocking things to try and win that game, I'll be honest, for them.
Yeah, but I don't know. A lot of changes need to be made. But in terms of, movies, I've just been on my grind to get through some of these 2024 releases.
Me too.
So
how many are you at now?
I think I'm at like 55.
Oh, okay. I'm at 57, so we're close.
Let me see what I'm at, because I'm also going to try and get to your 60. I'm at 55.
Yeah. My goal is 60. If I can get to 60, I got a few left in the tank.
Okay.
But Charles is, thanks to the American flight system, delayed. So he'll hopefully join us towards the end here for our draft. If not, we'll have to just delay the draft till next week. This guy killing us. But next week is 1 year. 1 year of the podcast, 52 episodes. Insane. I think Chuck's been on most of those. So it's been a lot. Traveling is hard. This time of year is difficult for everybody. It's been a lot of jumping around, going different places. But I think we'll get back into a better flow here come January when we got some great movies coming up. Like Den of Thieves 2. Den of Thieves 2, baby. Can't wait.
I was when I was in the theater yesterday, I saw the trailer again for the Mark Wahlberg movie in the airplane. In the airplane. And that just screams January release to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, yeah.
But, you mean the hit Flight Risk?
Oh. I mean, that's gonna be in our top 10 for 2025. Right?
I think there'll be a moment where it's definitely in my top 10 of the year for sure. I can promise you that.
A moment, yeah.
There'll be a moment when I have 6 movies reviewed and it's in the top 10. Also, that trailer shocks me every time because it's like, all right, I get what you're trying to do, but why would you spoil the twist in the trailer?
Yeah.
And the twist obviously is that he has a crazy wig on. Just one of the more shocking wigs I've ever seen. Yeah. What happened to Mark Wahlberg?
He was in the Uncharted movie.
Uncharted.
Yeah, he's in the Uncharted movie with.
Yeah, he produced Entourage.
Yeah,
Boogie Nights.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen him in something that I've been like, yeah, I really like that. So
yeah.
Hopefully, Marky Mark can get back to
some real losers here looking at these. Yikes.
He's on that. He's trying to go beer for beer with Chris Evans on this or movie for movie,
Oh my God, dude. Some of these are shocking. I still think the funniest thing about Mark Wahlberg is that he says the only thing he regrets in his entire career is when he was in Boogie Nights as probably the best role of his entire career. I just think that's always the funniest thing about him.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, you king. Yeah. But if Charles joins us, we will be doing a ranking. Well, not a ranking, our box office prediction game. So we'll be trying to predict the top 5 of the box office next year. Fingers crossed if Charles is here. If not, we'll delay that till next week, but because we'll have a lot of other stuff to talk about today. But still, it'll be okay. The only other thing I wanted to touch on before we get jumped in is, did Santa bring anything fun? Did Santa treat you anything?
He did.
Oh,
can I pause really quick and bring some of it in here? I got
I'll
take 1 second.
Yeah, I'll do a little. I'll share what I got while you're.
Okay. Mind if I run really quick? I'll be right back.
Go. Go.
Okay, it's literally gonna take like 1 second.
So for those watching and not listening, I got some cookbooks. So I'm holding this one up. This is super simple. I'm excited to get better. I really want to get better at cooking. I'm really poor at it. This one's the Jewish Deli. So I'm going to learn some Jewish food. So I'm pretty excited to do that and get more into cooking. But as for movie-related things, on my shelf back there right here is now the complete James Bond collection. Because I have a goal for 2025, and that is to watch all of the James Bond movies. I've really only seen those that are in the Daniel Craig universe, but I'm going to watch them all. We kind of talked about it last week, but still, James Bonding it up. Oh, here he is. He's back. Hell, oh,
Well,
yeah.
What did you get?
I showed these cookbooks I got, the Jewish Deli and super simple.
Nice.
So I'm going to get back into cooking a little more, and then my James Bond back there. Oh, I could get my mask.
Yes. Get the mask.
Should I get the mask?
Get the mask. Get the mask. This mask, Hunter he talked about it earlier to us, and he was saying it was a gift that, like, every Christmas he gets a gift for himself, and this is that gift. It is absolutely electric. Green Goblin.
Yes, for those who can't see, it is the Green Goblin mask. I have it angled towards me all the time, so it tells me I need to take out the Spider-Man. Now, this in and of itself is pretty great, and you could wear it, but this is the piece de resistance. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's the sound. The sound
just
bite.
The sound of the pumpkin bomb is just...
That's sweet.
Oh, it's so good. I had a lot... Actually, Willem Dafoe came up a lot during my holidays, which is just great. I think he should come up during everyone's holidays. I'm feeling I want to...
Exactly.
Almost sit it here like an appendage on me. But yeah. Okay, let's see it. What do we get?
I'm not saying, I think I might have you beat because I got one of the 5 Batmobiles that actually work. No, I'm trying.
Oh, yeah, you and Joe Burrow. It's you and Joe Burrow who now are the proud owners of Batmobiles.
So the best thing about, like, unfortunately, like, movies being like your main hobby and like the thing that you love, like, everyone you know knows that you like it, so like that's what they get you, which is awesome because like it's like buying gifts for people who love movies is like the easiest thing to do. So my brother and his wife got me this book. It's the film book, and it's basically like from the beginning of cinema to like now, and it just
That's sweet.
Like it starts off with like the Lumiere brothers, or the that sounds right, but like the people that invented like the film, like basically the first like silent movie, and then it kind of goes to like now. So super pumped about that one. I've been like slowly making my way through that. And there's like some really small like silent films that I want to like try and watch, just because like I don't know, they mention them in there and it sounds pretty cool just to like watch the evolution of film. But then this one I've been asking for a while, but I finally got it.
Oh,
and it's the Unleashing Oppenheimer book. So it like goes like, it's basically just like this massive book detailing of like the making of Oppenheimer and like the choices for like the characters. And then like, I think there's like some exclusive content with like some of the actors and then like the production of the movie. So like really, really happy I got this one. I've been wanting this for like literally as soon as they announced this. I think I asked for this like last Christmas and like, I just like didn't get it. And I was like, well, I'd still want that. So
yeah,
finally got it. Really happy I got this one. I need to this is like my elite level coffee book, you know, like in my apartment next year, I'm just going to like have like on the coffee table, you know, just like have like these, like someone casually walks into the place and they get this. Now this
love the coffee table books.
Now this is it. I haven't opened it yet because I still am trying to figure out how to, but I got
the Blu-ray player,
got my
the
DVD
4K
player.
Blu-ray player. Yes,
I'm excited.
He's joined the lineage.
So no, I haven't got. I mean, I got a little bit of cash, so hopefully I can get. I also pre-ordered the Wicked Steelbook. So
very nice. You went to Walmart. For some reason
yes,
there.
yes,
yeah,
yes. But no, it was a great Christmas.
That does sound
lots
like
of fun.
Where would be the best spots up? Wow, this was just looking at us. Yeah, right there. Right there.
You coward.
Yeah. No, it wasn't me. That'd be a good spot for that. But I was thinking about this. Well, actually, no, this is not related. It does relate to something you brought up, is Oppenheimer. every once in a while, I'll go back and rewatch like a 2017, 2015 Casey Neistat vlog just to be like, let's go live those days one more time. And the one I picked today was him talking about his good friends releasing their first movie, and it was the Safdie brothers. And he was talking about them releasing Good Time. And I was like, how amazing is it that in that moment we didn't know the trickle effect that would become like that kind of friendship in that universe of people? Because he was talking about, he was like, Robert Pattinson obviously stars in the movie. Well, Robert Pattinson only started that movie because he found, I guess, one of their earlier films and emailed them and was like, anything you do, I want in. And because of that, he was then seen and cast as Batman. And it's like just crazy coincidences in life, which is just so fun. I love that. I love stuff like that.
Thank to the Safdie bros for bringing us our Batman that we are so longing to see.
Thank you for Casey Neistat, I guess. Thanks, Casey Neistat. But yeah, what have you been watching this week? It's been a busy week for people.
Gosh.
In the US.
Busy week. Holy cow.
Busy week.
So last one I guess we talked about was Mufasa. So going into Nosferatu, I really wanted to I watched the Vampire Diaries in high school.
It's a great intro. This is a great intro.
That's to the extent. That's to the extent I know about vampires. So I was like, I probably need some more lore. I need to know a little bit.
Probably need something.
So I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola. Visually, it's great. The performances are great. I didn't really think I loved the story, but I guess I'll get back to that. Then saw Complete Unknown. Then saw Nosferatu. Watched Four Christmases with the family. That's kind of one of my family's go-to Christmas movie. Not necessarily.
I'm a Four Christmas hater.
You hate it?
I hate Four Christmases.
How can you hate it?
I don't like. Hang on, let me make sure it's the right movie. Yeah, it is. Okay. I really am not a big fan of Reese Witherspoon. Anything Reese Witherspoon in, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to.
Vince Vaughn is this is Vince Vaughn just being Vince Vaughn the entire movie.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
I enjoy it. It's a movie I enjoy. My family really likes it. So we watched that. And then on Christmas, me and my dad watched Die Hard, which the ultimate Christmas movie. The fact that there's even a conversation that this isn't a Christmas movie is unreal to me, considering that in the beginning, it is just Christmas through and through. It's not like they just bring it up once. It is taking place during Christmas. It's a Christmas party. There's Christmas music. He literally wraps the gun with him using gift wrapping materials at the end. How is that? I don't know. It's whatever.
Nosferatu, Christmas movie as well.
Indeed. Seeing that on Christmas morning with my brother was an experience, to say the least. And then my parents like Nate Bargatze.
Oh, the comedian.
We watched his special on Netflix, which really enjoyed that. He's got a very unique sense of humor, but it's very
he's
enjoyable.
The clean comedian.
Yeah, I liked him. He was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Then I finally got around to watching Transformers 1. I enjoyed that. I think I need to watch some of the Transformers movies, especially liking a lot of Bay's work. I feel like I need to dive into that just head first after I get through my 2024 stuff. Then I went to go see Wicked again with my parents. I think my love for this movie far exceeds the small problems that I have with it. And I think the more I watch it, the more I love it, and the less I find those problems to be a big factor during my viewing experience. So I bumped that up to 4.5. I just love this movie. I really do.
Fair.
There's definitely some problems with it, and I understand why people don't love it. But then I watched Civil War, quite possibly Hunter and Chuck's favorite movie of the year. I don't think I hated it as much as you guys, but I definitely did find there to be some problems with it. Then I watched a phenomenal movie, Denis Villeneuve's Sicario.
Yes.
Phenomenal. It is so
Love
good.
Sicario.
I never seen it. My dad was like, you have to watch it. So I was like, we watched it. It's just so good. Elite Emily Blunt performance.
That's
Josh
a movie
Brolin
where I just feel like there should be a Jeremy Renner in that movie. I feel like he should show up somewhere in that movie.
I feel like Josh Brolin is like the Jeremy Renner, though.
Yeah, like I feel like that is like the Jeremy Renner role. And
I
they're
got
like,
you.
Oh, we'll do Josh Brolin instead.
It's already filled. Sorry, man. Maybe you can come back next time.
Yeah, sorry.
You know. But Sauce Sicario, I really like that. Then I watched Monkey Man. Really liked Monkey Man.
Okay.
Loved it. Hopefully Dev Patel can keep up the sauce. Then I watched Nosferatu again last night. Some friends wanted to go see it, so I saw it again with them. So that was my week. Sorry, that was a little bit long, but Hunter,
No, that's good.
how was your week, man?
It's good. It's good. I did one for the team and I watched all of What If, and I might save my thoughts for a little bit later, but wow, what a show. Really just a show that came out. As for this week though, I started off with Home Alone on Christmas Day. I do think it's in that grouping of perfect movies. I think it's 100 out of 100.
Yeah.
Like I think it is just the perfect film. And I love it. And then the 26th was my very special day in the theaters where I watched Baby Girl and Nosferatu. And my Baby Girl screening was wonderful. I texted you guys. There was a father and daughter there who lasted about 16 minutes and then got up and left. Yeah.
At least they got out before the storm hit.
They could see the trajectory of the movie and they just decided it wasn't for them. Fair enough.
Fair.
Then there was everyone else was like couples, and there was me and another guy by himself. And that other guy by himself was also the dude who was in Nosferatu with me. Nosferatu was actually packed. The 1:30 showing of Nosferatu, packed. But that guy was there. So he was my boy that day. And then I watched Nosferatu, obviously. Excited to talk about that. Following day, little 10 in the morning screening of A Complete Unknown. And let me tell you, great time. And I'm excited to dive into that one in a little detail later.
Yeah.
And then the last two movies I watched this week were both 4.5-star movies. And I was so happy with the way this week ended.
You've been eating good, man.
I'm stuffed. That's how good I've been eating. Almost Famous. Never seen Almost Famous. I thought I would like it, and I truly did love it. It's just an incredible film. Really one of those movies where it's like the vibes are just like there. It's a vibes movie.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. Also just one of those movies where you point at the screen and go, oh my God, it's that guy. Or there they are. Jimmy Fallon has a role in this movie. And it hit me like a truck of like, oh my Lord, that is Jimmy Fallon. And he was doing the Fallonisms like, oh my God, oh, it's me, Jimmy Fallon. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, all of the Jimmy Fallon, like, that's so good. You're so funny. You're so good. And I just really I had a wonderful time with it. And then I finished the week. One of the things I got for Christmas was a 1917 4K. Popped that baby in, and I was just transported to 1917. And the last time I saw it was in theaters, like 3 Christmases ago or wherever it came out in 2019. So 5 Christmases ago.
4
This
Christmases?
movie is just
Sorry.
Robert Duvall. What? This movie is incredible. Like I do think that I have some issues with it. It's not, I don't think it's a perfect film, but like I give it 4.5 stars. I think it is one of the best ways to tell a story like this, to do the one shot. And I do think it is so good. Also, it's one of those movies that for some reason it feels like all British movies have to like do the thing where they go along and you meet more British actors along the way. And this does it in just a great way. And so I did love all of just like it's Colin Firth. Oh, it's Mark Strong. It's like I just love doing that. So great time with 1917. And then Creature Commandos, but we can
I love Creature. So good.
Good Creature Commandos this week. Very good.
I will say very fast before we hop into the news or into the reviews. 1917. That's been one I've been like wanting to watch. But like at school, I just feel like it wouldn't do it justice to like watch it on my iPad or my really small TV.
I would agree. I would say
I've been holding that for a bit.
I would say wait. Wait on that one.
I might watch it at home with one of the big TVs downstairs just because I feel like that might be it. But if I don't get through it this week, I'm not going to get through it for at least another 4 months.
Because I'm trying to think. Every once in a while, stuff like that will come back to theaters. But also, I know for you, you could write to IU Cinema and see if they'll do it. See if they would.
That is true.
Play that. They probably would.
I've been paying attention a lot more to that stuff. I really love what they're doing there. So hopefully they can do that.
You missed it though. If you went on Saturday, November 18th, you could have went. Oh wait, is this upcoming November? I can't tell. The National World War I Museum is having a special screening with Sir Roger Deakins. 5:30 p.m. I don't know when this is happening or what year, but it does say it's happening. Oh no, it was multiple years ago. Never mind. Big mistake on my part to get you hyped up for that. That's my bad. All right, we can get into some news. Oh, before we get into some news, big news for me personally. So Avery went to Switzerland, and on the way back from her flight, she watched Lord of the Rings for the first time. And Charles was very excited about this when she texted him this. So I thought I would give her review on the podcast so that you, as the other person who likes Lord of the Rings more than me, could give your opinion on her opinion.
Okay.
So she gave it 3.5 stars. Now, she watched it on a plane. She gave it 3.5 stars on a plane. I think she watched the theatrical cut. And her review is as follows. I accidentally started watching the third movie first. And an hour in, I realized something wasn't right. After correct... yeah. So she basically got to the battle and was like, "Oh, this isn't right."
Well, my bigger question is, after watching the first hour, once you finally get to the third movie, do you start where you left off, or do you restart the movie?
She left. She left that
third
one.
You're gonna have to
back to number one.
Okay.
So you jump back to number one. So then it goes, after correcting my mistake, the movie was much better than I expected. I don't know if this is a hot take, but Gandalf seems like kind of a fraud. I've watched Two Towers a bit, and I think Gandalf seems less like a fake wizard there. But I don't know, maybe since I'm imagining Dumbledore as the old white beard wizard, maybe he just doesn't live up to my expectations. So I think in her mind, she's thinking, I've seen Dumbledore, why can't Gandalf match his aura? And he just doesn't, which I actually agree with. And then the final line of the review is, I will continue to report back after I finish the second one. Just give me a couple more months. So after episode 75, we'll be able to review number 2 of her opinion. I mean, crazy to get an hour into number 1 and number 3. That's crazy.
For sure.
I do
like, what
respect though.
What is going on? Who is this Gollum dude? What's his obsession with the ring? What's going on?
Yeah. How do they all meet each other? They're on their own.
Yeah. Samwise is just like the greatest character of all time. Like, this guy is so goated.
Facts.
Wow.
All right, let's get into some news. Yeah, big news. Other big news, Wicked. Your probably most anticipated movie. Oh yeah, it already was. We already did the draft of next year. Wicked 2. Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba, reveals that she co-wrote a new song alongside Stephen Schwartz for Wicked 2. Are you excited for this? This means nothing to me. I'll be honest. I don't know the songs Wicked Part 2 off the top of my head. If there's more, I'll take more. I'm okay with whatever happens, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, like, the first half is always like my favorite part of the play, and the second half is entertaining, but it's more or less like, where do things fall into place? You know, like, all of the stuff that's happened in the first half, how is it going to settle, and how do we get to the Oz that we know? You know, so I like some of the songs. I'm very interested. I'm not like against it, you know, because I think, like, going into the first one, I thought they were going to write some originals there. So we'll see. I mean, I trust him with the music. I'm not, you know, he wrote the original music. So if it was someone else writing it, I might be a little bit, you know, concerned. But I think that because you have the original writer, the original composer of the music still doing this one, I feel like the tone should be very similar. And I feel like he's not necessarily putting his reputation on the line to add another song, but if it does kind of miss, I think his, like, I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be upset if it does.
I do think that there's a big hurdle to climb here, because you're like, the music is so iconic from Wicked, especially everyone who's like seen it or like even seen like the stage play, and now it's hey, we're going to add to that history with our own song here. And so I don't know, it's a lot of pressure, I feel, but we'll have to see. The more I think about Wicked Part 2, the less like excited I am. Is that weird? I don't know.
No.
I feel like I'm going to fall back in the trap I had with Wicked 1 where I'm like, I'm not really excited for this. And then it just surprises me. And it's one of my favorites of the year.
Honestly, let's keep it like that for you personally. I feel like, because it's not like I'm really excited for it, but I'm not going to say like I would put my money down on the table to say this is going to be my favorite movie in 2025.
Yeah, you're not like Charles, who I think would put this money on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I probably wouldn't have even put it down for this one either. So like, it's just like, I think also keeping my expectations pretty low is helpful when it comes to this movie. So I'm very optimistic. It's hard to be negative around this type of news for me, just because I enjoy the play so much, and then I just love the Wizard of Oz so much. So it's like just going back to this whole world is just fun for me, and I feel like they would have to write a truly terrible song to really fire me up. So
it's just like a rap. It's a rap battle between Elphaba and Glinda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is just like,
what?
Yeah.
I am not throwing away my magic. I am not throwing away my magic. That's what's going to be for 2 hours. Oh, has anyone ever fallen from grace as hard as that guy? I mean, he was just the king of the world, and just
I don't think it's like,
doesn't like.
I mean, I don't hate him.
I think people are very anti Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe
that's just me. Maybe I'm that side of the internet person. That could be it, to be honest.
Because, like, honestly, the music for Mufasa, like, sure, it wasn't like stuff I would really listen to after, but I wasn't like it wasn't like Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Like some of the lyrics in Amelia Perez made me like, who wrote this? What is going on?
Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, what's going on here, folks?
I feel like the music he wrote for Mufasa, honestly, like, there's like songs that I do like, and there's some like choices that I don't like love, but it's not like music I'm going to leave the theater and be like, oh my gosh, I need to get the vinyl record for this right now. I still do listen to Hamilton a lot, though.
There's a funny promo for Mufasa where I think it's only shown in some theaters if you go early for a movie, or isn't it movie? Yeah, Nuvi.
Oh,
so you get to see Maria Menounos, and there's like a clip there where they talk about him. Right, prayers up for Maria Menounos. It's like him talking about the writing process behind Mufasa.
Yes.
And do you know what I'm talking about? And he's like, I think he's talking to the director, and he's like, I'm reading the script here, and he's talking about how much he wants a brother. And it just spoke to me like the words of the song. And then it cuts to the clip of them doing the song. And it's the lions being like, I've always wanted a brother. It's like, dude, you're just saying the plot out loud. It's not music. It's so funny.
No, I know.
Do they do that a lot in that movie where it's just like, here is the plot, and the words of the song are the plot?
Basically, it's like there's like a whole sequence where Scar is singing, and that's when he like transforms. He's like, you took this woman from me, and he's
but
that
actually ties to our next piece of news too. In the Heights is good. I think In the Heights is the best thing he's done. I think In the Heights is better than Hamilton.
Well, that was like 2021, man. I mean, that was 4 years ago. I mean,
yeah, but In the Heights is also what
Boom, right?
No. Tick Tick Boom is the Stephen Sondheim.
Did he not help? Did he not help?
I think he helped get it made, but I don't think he.
Okay, he was like a producer.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait, let me see. Director Lin-Manuel Miranda. Tick Tick Boom.
Okay. I apologize to Lin-Manuel. Okay, two things he's done right in my book. Actually, I like Hamilton as well. Okay, maybe I'm just being a hater. I'll maybe be a hater.
No, shout out Lin-Manuel Miranda. You didn't know. You
should I watch Tick Tick Boom?
Mufasa? It's so good. So good.
It is so good. Maybe I should watch Tick Tick Boom again. No, I'll watch something new on my watch list. Let's see. What does he have coming up? I got to see what he's got coming up. He's in the making. Oh, composer is what I wanted to see. Okay, so give me something. Okay, he's got nothing coming up, allegedly.
Okay.
Except for he's in something called The Making of in pre-production with him and
Okay.
Blake Lively. I don't know what that's about, but
I will say I'm pretty optimistic about him. I mean, I think he's done a lot of good stuff, and I think it'd be a disservice if he weren't Mufasa wasn't my favorite thing, but like I think he should. I mean, I think he's still going to stay a pretty strong presence in the film community as well as like the theater community. I mean,
yeah,
you're one of the most influential pieces of theater, and I don't know. Sorry, maybe that's an over exaggeration, but I mean, I think it's one of the most popular musicals.
No, I do. I think it is. I think it is one of probably the most famous musicals ever, like ever. Not even close.
Yeah. Well, so, I guess that's Lin-Manuel Miranda. Shut up.
Just set off the bomb.
Just the fidget toy is just.
This actually ties to our next piece of news of over analyzing the script, and that is Netflix's casual viewing. So allegedly, Netflix is going to be working on something called casual viewing with its new shows, where it basically is just having people describe what they're doing as they're doing it in all of their movies and shows, so that if you're looking away from the screen, you still get like what's happening in the show. I'll give you an example of this. All right, this is a scene. I'm walking into frame. I'm doing things. I'm still doing things. I'm leaving frame. That's what's going to happen now on Netflix. And we're just going to get dumber as a society because of it, because that is shocking. That is so stupid. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. We need to make it harder for people to pay attention, so they have to pay attention.
I want to say something like this already exists.
Yeah, it's just called bad shows. It's like Hallmark movies. Like, that's all it is. It's just like Hallmark movies.
I mean, like, if I'm watching, like, if I want to watch a movie that I haven't seen, like, I'm not just going to throw it on and, like, hop on my iPad and just, like, do homework. But, like, if I'm doing homework and I want to throw on the B movie because I've seen it 50 times, I'm just going to throw on the B movie.
Like, I get it if it's, like, I don't know, like a sitcom where you're, like, listening to it. But, like, to have it in, like, a movie is just such a weird choice.
Yeah.
I really don't like this.
It's going to be, it's going to 100%. Is it like a turn on, turn off feature?
I don't think so. I think it's be built into the dialogue.
Well,
I would recommend anyone. There's a new, let me see. I'm going to get this correct so I can recommend it correctly. Okay. So if you go on YouTube, there is a YouTuber by the name of Eddie Burback. Eddie Burback has a second channel with his brother called just Burback. I think it's just the Burback brothers. Yeah, no, it's called Burback. And they recently did a video not too long ago about the complicated history of renting movies. And in that, I think it tells us everything we need to know about the history of where movies are going. It's very interesting. I do recommend it. I think it ties into that if you're more interested in that. But that's all I have on that right now. All right. Do we want to do the Sony news or the Labyrinth news next?
I saw the Labyrinth news. We can talk about ice. We can hop into that.
Okay. Labyrinth. Apparently, Labyrinth is getting a reboot, remake, sequel, who knows, from Nosferatu director Robert Eggers. I would say there's a 3% chance this happens.
Okay, good. I'm glad that, because I was like, is this even like, because I saw it was coming from like an
unreliable I think it'd be source, awesome.
I've never seen the original.
Neither have I. The David Bowie Labyrinth. Never seen it.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Jim Henson and the Muppets, I've never seen it.
Seeing the aesthetic, I'm like, okay, I feel like he could match that,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I do love the idea of Robert Eggers doing like a Muppet movie.
I very much
like this horribly dark movie. It'd be great.
I'd like to see him hop into something original again, especially after Nosferatu, personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While we'll hop into that later, I think I'd like to see him maybe go and do like, because I think the stuff that makes his earlier ones so much fun is that they're like fairly original, like most of them are based off of some sort of like folklore or like myths and stuff, but like it's all like still his. It's not like there's an already there's. It's not like there's already a movie adaptation of what he's trying to do. So I'd like for him to go back to kind of his roots, especially after Nosferatu being this massive movie.
Yeah, I would love him to do like I was just thinking about this after Nosferatu, almost like an American folklore movie, but it's about the settlers on their way out west, and like on their way out west, they're like told these stories by like the natives about like this like I don't know mythical being that comes down and like steals people.
Yeah,
and like it ends up being real. I think that'd be really cool. But also,
that would be
maybe
cool.
Maybe that's too similar to because kind of The Witch, right? The Witch is kind of like that, where it's like a mythical
Have you seen The
thing,
Witch?
it's real. Like when it came out, so it's been a minute. Sorry, I don't remember a lot of details.
Yeah, that's just like early settlers, and then it's just like.
No, I want later. I want like the 1850s. Like I want like cowboys.
Yeah.
I want later.
Yeah, I'd say this is like at least early 1800s, if not late.
Like I want like trains being built in the background of like while these people are going out west.
You're like, have you seen Once Upon a Time in the West?
No, but I would. That's on my list.
That's like a Sergio Leone movie. That's okay, but you're kind of like wanting those vibes, but like. Or like know of the vibes, like kind of like a western, but like
yeah, like I want like Clint Eastwood, Fistful of Dollars.
Yes,
like,
yes.
That's the kind of western I want, but I want it to be like that. You know what actually be great? Okay, let me spin it again. It's these cowboys that are like like small town sheriffs that have to go after this creature like out in the backwoods because it's terrorizing a town. Like that would be great.
No, I'm for that.
We gotta get. Robert, our dear listener, Robert, please, for us. We'll help write this movie.
Executive producers? What?
Yes. What? Huh?
Has there ever been like an adaptation of like the Roanoke, like the story of like the early like established like colonist in in the US? Because I feel like he would like crush that if that's never been done. Where like they basically settle and then people go away and they come back and there's all gone.
Yes. Oh, you'd be that. Okay, that one. Yes. What's the other one where they go the wrong way up the mountain? You know what I'm talking about? Where like the Donner Party. That's it.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Where they go the wrong way, and then like they're just all gone. I think that would be an incredible movie by him.
Robert, we got some ideas, man.
Robert, we got some wonderful ideas. Give us a ring.
Just text me actually, hang on. Bro.
I'm sure Robert, send us a raven. I'm sure that's how you communicate with people. You just send them ravens. Yeah. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. All right, before we talk more about Robert, Sony. So the Sony CEO came out and was defensive of the Marvel spin-off universe. He was like, I don't think they were that bad at movies. I think that a lot of times it was actually like the critics who were too hard on them. People made people not want to see them. People were hating on this guy for these comments. I actually am going to take the opposite route, and I'm going to say that he's doing a good thing. Because yes, they were not great movies, but we get mad at CEOs all the time for like abandoning artists and being like, oh, we're just going to move on from the next project because tax write-off. Like this guy at least is being defensive, being like, look, maybe they weren't for you, but like I still think that they were a labor of love and I liked them. I think that hey, listen, if you're going to be wrong, defend being wrong. So hats off to this guy.
Yeah.
He is wrong, but I like it.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, like people went to see it and like, I mean, I know like the Rotten Tomato scores, I'm not saying that those are like perfect representations, but like there are people that enjoyed these movies and they definitely took a lot of time and effort to make, So I think to dismiss that would have been really easy to do for a CEO, but like you said, round of applause for standing up for people that work for you and the products that they make.
Exactly. So I'm gonna say hats off to this guy. I think he did a good thing. Oh, the Minecraft final is half off right now. I might have to top. All right, the last we don't have only two more pieces of news. It's the end of the year. People are working. They're busy.
Yeah.
But they're both Batman. So the first one is that The Brave and the Bold is not delayed, but also kind of delayed. I think this is just not going to happen. because of the second piece of news. The Batman has been delayed to October 1st, 2027. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Jack. What do we think?
I'm just like, I'm a little sad, because I think the first one came out and we were so excited, and I'm still excited, and I still love this movie. But I think just the more and more it gets delayed, the more frustrating it kind of gets to be a fan, because you're like, the demand for this movie, that people will flock to theaters and sell out theaters to see this 2 to 3 times. And it's just, it can't get made. Personally, I still stand by my point of saying I would like for Pattinson to be separate, personally. If they were to mesh, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. I don't think it would completely ruin the Batman. But personally, I would prefer for them to stay separate. Just sad news, man. That was just kind of upsetting. Especially with how excited 2026 was. Everyone's looking at it. You have Nolan's The Odyssey, you have Denis Villeneuve's Dune Messiah, and then we were going to have the Batman Part 2. Like, 2026 was potentially lining up to be just an insane slate of movies. And 2025 and 2026 still are like going to be great movies for cinema. But like, the Batman Part 2 was just, I think that was a punch to the gut for everyone.
So here's how I'm taking it. I'm taking it as, I think that after rewatching the Dark Knight trilogy, which we did not too long ago, I think after you watch that first one, you're like, okay, awesome. I think it's really good. I see the future going on it. But I don't think the expectations were as high as they are for a sequel in comparison to what the Batman Part 2 has to do. And so with that, I do think, look, take your time with it. I also saw that they're planning on filming coming this summer. So summer 2025, they'll be filming the Batman Part 2. Which, listen, if that gets delayed again, I don't know what to tell you. But that does mean they're going to take their time with this. That means they're going to really put the effort into post-production, which I think is a good thing. I mean, let's say they do a 6-month shoot. They're filming at the end of the summer. That goes right into the early bits of 2026. They'll have over a year and a half to do post-production of this movie. I think that is ample time to get something really, really well done. Also, completely suspicious, I would also like to maybe guess that much time. Batman Part 2, Part 3, quick succession, maybe 2027, 2028, do a little 1-2 punch, finish it off. I'm also getting more and more convinced that the Batman is going to join the DCU. I do think it'd be very silly to have 2 Batman running around, especially one that's as beloved as Robert Pattinson's. And it's like, what? Also, if you're an actor and you want the opportunity to play Batman, I think it's probably one of the top things you'd want to maybe do, at least in my opinion. Why would you want to compete with the Robert Pattinson Batman? It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand why they would want to do 2. It's confusing. Just put them together. And so I do think that my big prediction is, they said take an extra year, get us Part 2, Part 3 back to back. We'll finish in 2028. And then after that, we'll get into them merging. So we'll do a big 1-2 punch to finish out Matt Reeves' version of the Batman story. By the end of the Batman Part 3, he is fully Batman. Because I think right now he's obviously still figuring it out. He's fully Batman by the end of Part 3. Then he joins the DCU. Until then, he is separate. Maybe there's a rumbling here or there. He's on a rooftop and hears someone below saying, "Hey, did you hear about the guy in Metropolis?" Like stuff like that. I'm convinced they're going to join up. I think it'd be so silly if they don't. I know you don't want them to, but I just think they will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like hating against it, but I totally, from a business standpoint, I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't know how you can drop the Batman Part 2 and then be like, all right, guys, 8 months later, we're going to drop Batman, the Brave and the Bold. And
it's James Corden as the Batman. It's like, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he had like some pretty good points in there. And at this point, I don't think I'd be surprised if it were to merge. Still not something that I would be super passionate about. But at this point, it just keeps getting delayed. So any version of this movie coming back, I'd be happy with. As long as, like, look, if they take 5 years and the movie sucks, like, then I'm gonna be pissed. But like,
yeah, oh yeah,
take your time, like, and even then, it's like
that's
looking
the
at
issue. The expectations keep getting higher the more time you take.
100%.
Because now it's like, let's go.
Well, it's because it's apparently Matt Reeves hasn't finished writing, right? Or that's
the big thought process here. But listen, he did also write a whole TV show we got. So like stuff is happening. It's just he's just a slow writer. Like, and I
mean, I saw people were upset. They're like, oh, he shouldn't be writing the Penguin if he doesn't have Batman finished. And I would argue I'm incredibly grateful that the Penguin happened.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Do I want the Batman to come out? Yes, but I think the Penguin is by far one of the best seasons of television I've seen in the past. Maybe even my lifetime. That might be a stretch, but I really don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also am of the opinion. Here's my guess. This is my Hunter prediction. What we're gonna have is Superman 2025 comes out. I'm thinking big success. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I think we're gonna have the Batman 2 October 2027. Superman 2 beginning of summer 2027 or 2020, 2028. And then the fall 2028 is when the Batman wraps up. And that's when we kind of get our going into Superman 3, they're together. I think that is what's going to end up happening. And I think Superman 3 might be the world's world's finest movie. This is my thought.
I'm for it. I'm honestly just get the characters together.
Yeah, let's just get going. I'm ready to let's just go. Because Marvel is limping.
I'm too impatient at this point. I texted one of my friends and I was like, you're going to be carrying a newborn child into this theater to go see Robert Pattinson play Batman again.
Yeah, no, literally. It's going to be redonkulous. I mean, I texted you guys. I'm going to be, 26? Yeah, I'll be on the verge of my 26th birthday when I go see the Batman Part 2, and I was like 20 when I saw the first one or something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Uncle Hunter is going to be...
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Walking in the theater. Unreal.
So that's the Batman news. It's just going to be one of those things I think we keep talking about until we finally get it. It's going to be one of those again.
Like the Beatles. That was a really bad impression.
Hey, it's me, Ringo, of the Beatles. I did have to, after watching Complete Unknown, I did have to Google like how he actually talks.
How he talks. Sure.
Yeah, it was a good and I was like, all right, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good impression.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Bob Dylan. All right, trailer time. We got one today. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. No thanks. It just looked fine. Like, it didn't look great.
It's new, and I think it's exciting because it's not the same MCU we know.
Yeah.
I said the same thing about What If, and I know I'm kind of...
What If was bad, dude.
I know. I've seen clips. I saw the Captain Carter sequences, and I'm just like, what is the obsession with Captain Carter here? But point is, this Spider-Man is in his own universe. He can do whatever he'd like. I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna, like I said I'm not going to put my money down on the table for the show, but
yeah,
I'm optimistic that they can turn it into something enjoyable, especially for Spider-Man enthusiasts. I feel like there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, and like as a Spider-Man guy, like I'm like it does look good. It just, I don't know. Like I think it's almost too much of what it is. Like I don't love that he's like a streamer. Like I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. It feels like they wrote a Miles Morales show, and they were like, "We can't have two animated Miles Morales happening at once. Just make it Peter Parker." That is what it feels like to me, in like the nicest way possible. So we'll have to see. I do like Norman Osborn though, because it's voiced by your Sing Sing King, Coleman Domingo.
I had no idea.
Yeah, if he ends up being the main Norman Osborn, I'm gonna be pumped. Also, okay, going back to Batman. Sorry, the distance between No Way Home and the next Spider movie is also gonna be 5 years. So like, this isn't like an unprecedented thing. I think it's just we're more in the moment of the Batman, where we're like, let's go. We want the Batman. Where it's not like this is a newer next step for Spider-Man kind of thing.
Yeah, we've honestly been through a lot of emotions, dude. I mean, I remember when Far From Home came out, and then they left us
Yeah,
on
he was
that
gone.
massive cliffhanger, and they're like, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're good.
So
I think
remember that being frustrating too.
Spider-Man 4 comes out, I think it's July. Yeah, July 26, 2026. Which also, speaking of Marvel dates, I think Fantastic Four is going to move. My hot take of the year is that Fantastic Four is going to be a November movie. Calling it now. Calling my shot. So
that would be good for me.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great for you.
Yeah,
I'm convinced. I'm convinced of it. I think it's definitely gonna be a November movie. I think they're gonna move it. I just don't know why you'd want to compete with Superman. And also, it's just like if you're Marvel, and I know they don't think like this because I think they're more business oriented than fans, like we are. But if you're Marvel, why would you not want to be like, let's see what they got. Let's see what the audience is eating for, and let's not cannibalize each other. Let's because I think if you're Marvel, deep down you want Superman to be huge, because if they're good, you got to get pushed, and it's like the pushing each other is what makes great art. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, Happy Gilmore 2. In or out? Right, first impression, in or out?
I'm out.
I think you're out. Yeah, I knew you'd be out. I had a feeling you'd be out.
It's just that we live in nostalgia has a massive weight on everyone's shoulders, and the fact that this is being made and Travis Kelce is pulling up, I don't know. I mean, I think this could be enjoyable, I don't think it's going to be.
It feels like a movie where instead of like, how do you do, fellow kids, it's like, how do you do, fellow 35-year-olds? Like, that's how it feels.
It feels like a parody to the first one.
Yeah.
Like watching the trailer, like,
I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm optimistic. Who knows? Adam Sandler is I like him. I think I liked a lot of his movies. I still haven't seen Hidden Gems. You
ever see Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems, not Hidden Gems. I don't remember. Yeah, no, I haven't. I heard it's great, and I know it's supposed to be his best performance ever.
Yeah, but, Safdie brothers. Full circle back to the beginning of the episode.
Yes, but I don't know. I mean, it's Adam Sandler. It'll bring people in if they release it in theaters. It's because it's a Netflix movie, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It'll be in theaters, right?
No, come on. No, this is gonna be the first one of those dialogue movies where it's like, I am hitting the ball. My name is Happy Gilmore. Like, that's what's gonna be. I like Happy Gilmore quite a bit, but I do think of all of his movies to do a sequel on, this is not the one I would pick. Right? Like, I think the more interesting option you could have done would have been a Grown Ups 3, where like all the kids are off to college, and it's like, how do you handle that as an adult? I think that'd be a much more fascinating movie.
Sure.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm just old man yells at me out, even though I'm 22 or 20. I'm 23 actually now. That's crazy.
I mean,
23-year-old. I'm making sure my Fortnite is updating right now, just in the background. This cast is pretty great though. I'm not gonna lie to you. You want me to read you some names here? I'm gonna read you some names.
Give it to me.
All right. Obviously, Adam Sandler, Julie Bowen, Ben Stiller, Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin. Right? You got those right off the bat. Margaret Qualley is in this cast. Benny Safdie is in this cast. Then Travis Kelce, obviously. El Muerto himself, Bad Bunny, is here.
And I guess I am in now. I don't know. Like, I still don't understand why it had to be made, but like the fact that there's this many people in this cast, I think that's what's going to draw me in, as opposed to necessarily the storyline itself.
If you want to see a very funny photo, look up Travis Kelce's photo on IMDb. It is maybe the most 2014 Tumblr photo I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, dude is coiffed. That hair is coiffed. He has 2 awards. What has he won? Oh, he's won the Kids' Choice. He's won the Kids' Choice Award for Best Male Sports Star in 2024. Good for him.
He looks like he's about to host the Nickelodeon Awards.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
He's produced things. Okay, he's an actor in 4 things. He was in Grotesque. Oh, that's right. I did see that billboard for Grotesque on FX. No thanks.
He's still balling out though, so I guess Travis Kelce, do your thing. I mean, he's
I
not
guess
Travis Kelce from like years past, but he's still playing pretty well.
He's in something called Loose Cannons, where he is the star of it. All right, go Travis. You do you. All right, that's all I got news wise. Do you want to get into some reviews? I can talk What If first if you want.
Yeah, hop into it.
All right, What If? Shocking show. Very mid. Didn't do any of the things I think people expected from it. So I guess good job subverting expectations. But the season finale is basically a 2-part episode where it's the Watchers are mad at our Watcher, like the one we followed the whole show, because he interferes. So they put him in Watcher jail. And then our heroes of Captain Carter, Storm with Mjolnir, a character called Birdie, who is played by Natasha Lyonne, who is also in Fantastic Four as an unknown character. And if she's Birdie, I'm going to get up and walk out of that theater right away. Because let me tell you, you might ask yourself, who's Birdie? Birdie is a brand new character for the MCU, who's actually the love child between Howard the Duck and Peggy.
I saw this.
Kat Dennings' character from Thor and like WandaVision. Crazy choice. Oh, Darcy. It's Darcy. That's her name.
Darcy.
Oh my God, I know that, but I can't do like weird math equations. That's embarrassing. And also on the team is the other original character from last season, whose name I'm also forgetting. I'm gonna look that up.
Couldn't tell you.
Anyway, so they go and they have to recruit. They have to recruit the. Help me find her. Oh, Kahori. That's right. It's Kahori. That's the other original character. They have to recruit Ultimate. What's her name? Oh, it's like the Vision who like won. Remember the Vision who got all the Infinity Stones? They go and get him, and they're like, "Hey, you need to help us go get our Watcher back." And he's like, "All right, I guess so." And then he goes and helps them, and immediately dies. And then they have a fight between them and the other Watchers, and then our Watcher bestows upon them the power of the Watchers. They have like this big battle, and then it basically ends. And it was kind of a waste. Oh, and then the last 15 seconds, they show like these glimpses of other universes that all look more interesting than the universes we got to see in this show. There is a Ghost Rider who is a samurai. There is a Weapon X Thanos. There's a Spider-Man, which, listen, I'll just take anything Spider-Man. There was Blade as Moon Knight. Just a shockingly average, below average show. And I am very worried that this Birdie character is going to show up in Fantastic Four and really pull me out of that movie, because I'm going to be like, oh, she's back. So, yeah, not a great show. But if you had 2 hours to kill and you're like, I would like to see something Marvel related, I guess so.
From the clips I saw like on TikTok, on social media, it's just frustrating. And that's why I kind of went out on it. Like, I think season 1 genuinely had some interesting storylines.
Season 1 is the best season. It's not even close.
No, 100%. 100%. And season 2, I think I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I'm just kind of like, what's going on here? Like, and then I think I saw more and more people, and obviously I could have watched them for my own opinions. I fully understand that. But I saw these scenarios just getting worse and worse. And I'm like, I'm not even interested enough in the title. Why would I watch this?
Yeah, like I just don't get how you could do What If wrong. It's like shocking that you mess up What If. Like, there have been hundreds and hundreds of What If stories Marvel has written. Why not just like copy those? Here we go. I'm gonna Google what if comics and go to images. I'm gonna pull a few that I think will be better. All right. Here we go. What if the X-Men died on their first mission? That would be a more interesting story than I think half the stuff we've got so far.
Okay.
What if Uncle Ben had lived? I'd love that story.
Yeah.
What if, I don't know what this is about, Lord Vampires. That sounds kind of cool though. What if Donald Duck became Thor? That was the story they put out. What if that happened? I don't know. Hey, here's one for you, Marvel. What if the other half got snapped? I don't know. I don't get it.
That's like the greatest idea ever. Like, how did you think of that? Right?
I know. I think of these things.
Wow.
It's such a lazy. It just felt lazy, and I didn't like that. So, let's get into actual good things. Number one good thing.
Yes.
Creature Commandos was pretty good this week.
Oh,
was good.
no. But R.I.P. to our boy.
Yeah. I told you, dude. I told you they're all going to die by the end of the show.
Like,
we're going to have a whole new Creature Commandos.
I'm convinced now. I really am.
Well, okay. See, I don't get how Ric Flair Sr. died, though. Ric Flair Sr., the Nature Boy. Rick Flag Sr., because he's in Superman. Right? Like, he's in the movie. We know that he's in the movie. And he's also in Peacemaker Season 2.
Hold up. Then what if he might not be dead then.
What if? New show. What if Rick Flag Sr. lived?
What?
What if?
Is he credited in here?
In what?
Yeah,
in
Rick
Superman?
Flag Sr. Yeah.
He's on set with Superman. I've seen the photos.
Yeah. Well,
I guess he lives.
He's not dead.
Maybe he lives.
That's they left us on a cliffhanger, but like because Hunter knows his stuff. Sorry we ruined the.
Because I know ball. Sorry.
I'm like, dang, bro, they really set up this crazy love story between him and the princess. And they're like, nah, screw the princess, bro.
Oh, Chuck just landed. He might be joining us. But yeah, it's a great show. I'm very excited for the next episode, which seems to be centered around. They did like the ad, right? Did you watch the ad? I think I
saw Phosphorus.
Oh, it's around Phosphorus, who was awesome this
man.
episode. Yeah, great little bit in this episode. All right, you want to
There's going to be a movie for Creature Command. Is there going to be a Creature Commandos movie?
No, but I do think they're going to show up in other stuff if they're not all dead. I do think they're all going to die though. I'm pretty convinced they're all going to die. I think only people are going to live is. I already told you that. Wait, I already told that this last week. It's gonna be Rick Flag Sr. and the bride. That's it.
Bride.
So, yeah, that's it.
I think I love this show so much that I'm really considering getting a poster of it in my room.
Really, that much?
I like it that much.
Wow.
I just think the characters are so fun, they're so entertaining, and every week it's just like 20 minutes. I'm fully locked in. Like we said earlier, it's just enough time to be engaged, and it doesn't lose my interest. The characters are so fun. The backstories are fun. The backstory this week with, Frankenstein was awesome. Where they had this woman who took him in, and you're like, oh, like Frankenstein's a super nice guy, and then they pull the penguin on us, and he's like, nah, and he takes the dog too.
Yeah, we also got our first look at Clayface, who's getting his own movie.
Yeah, that was crazy. He just the beginning was crazy. The whole I was like sitting there, I was so confused watching the first 2 minutes of the show this week, where the teacher walks in and she's like, what is so great about and then she said like where Wonder Woman's from.
Oh yeah, and then there's only 2 more episodes of this. Oh my god, that's it.
Oh man, it's a bummer, man. I really do. I love this show. I love it.
It's very good. There's a second season, so you don't have to wait that long. Hopefully.
How long are the episodes for X-Men?
97.
Yeah.
About 25 minutes, the same as this.
Okay, I might hop into that after this finishes because I feel like that'd be up the same alley, and I'd really like it.
Hey, maybe Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will be up your alley.
Might be. Who knows?
All right, let's let's do first Baby Girl because it's the only one that I've seen and you didn't see.
Yeah.
So, okay, right off the bat, I gave Baby Girl 3.5 stars. I think this is quite a good movie. I do think, though, that this is another movie that falls into the marketing gotcha. It's not as like, I don't know, controversial, I think maybe is the right word, as like they advertise it to be, where it's like, this is crazy, like this is something crazy. It never really is like that. I do think it's quite good. I think it has moments where it works a lot better than it I think it's credit for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall it just doesn't reach like the highs I think it's possible. Also, this is a Christmas movie. Big Christmas aspect here.
Really?
So
Okay.
this is another add to the year of the rewatch, I guess. I just think that it's just very average with what it's saying and what it's doing.
Sure.
And I think it could be a lot more. Also, shockingly, maybe not shockingly, but at least surprisingly, Antonio Banderas is like her husband in this. He gives the best performance in this movie by far. Like he is so
Really?
good here. Like I was like Antonio Banderas king is like very, very good here.
Okay.
Also the second movie of the year, my review is second movie of the year where a woman sees herself as a dog, followed by Amy Adams' A Night Bitch. So which is also on Hulu, which maybe I have to watch because I think I do need to see that still. But I don't know. I just think it's very fine. It's like I expected something.
Okay.
I expect something more. I expect it to be like, whoa,
3.5
whoa.
though. 3.5 though. For like,
Yeah, like it's good. It's just not like great. Like it's very just like good.
Okay.
I think this is like her Eyes Wide Shut. And it never is like that
Gotcha.
level of quality
Okay.
or intrigue, like at all. I don't know. I just think it's very average.
Well, maybe if it I don't know. I might have a lot of time on my hands over this week, so maybe I will go give it a watch. But I know specifically this week, I maybe could have squeezed it in there, but it just didn't happen. So hopefully we can chat about that maybe at the year end. I mean, did you feel like Nicole Kidman was like totally deserving of like all the Oscar buzz though, or?
I think I wouldn't mind if she was nominated, but I think if she was even close to the conversation of winning, I'd be shocked.
Okay.
Like I think she was quite good in this, but I don't think this is like up there with Nicole Kidman performances where I'm like blown away by it. I think
Harrison
she was
Dickinson though. How was he?
No, I think this was Antonio Banderas' show.
Wow.
Like he came in and just stole it. Like honestly, he did. So I'm pretty impressed with him in there. I'll say that. Also, this is funny. It's the second movie this year about Nicole Kidman having an affair with a younger man. The other one was the Netflix movie A Family Affair.
And it just so happens to be the second brother from the Iron Claw. So
yeah, you're right. She loves that family.
At this rate, we're going to get a movie with Nicole Kidman and Jeremy Allen White. It's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be hot. It's going to be steamy. Get ready for it.
Yeah, somehow they'll both be like working in a kitchen, and then she'll be like the older chef who like falls in the young sous chef. It's one of the like even looking at like romantic movies this year, it's lower on my list for where it kind of falls. Like if I'm looking right now, I have it at 24 on my list, and like Challengers is better than this. Like We Live in Time better than this. Substance better than this. Like I just think it was promised something that just never became. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me having higher expectations. I do think though, I do think it's better than Anora.
Okay.
Which I think I'm on the opposite side of most people. Where I'm like more of an Anora average person than like people being like it's life changing. So
fair enough. Well, thank you.
All right. Do we want to? Hey, no, thank you. Yeah, they also served everyone a glass of milk when we came into Baby Girl. It was wild.
Nice and warm milk.
Yeah, nice warm milk, and they were very complimentary of us. All right, Drink it. Do you want to do a complete unknown first? Let's do that first.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, read the synopsis here. A Complete Unknown, starring Timothy Chalamet and directed by James Mangold. The Ballad of a True Original, New York, early 1960s, against the backdrop of a vibrant music scene and tumultuous, yeah, close enough, cultural upheaval. An enigmatic 19-year-old from Minnesota arrives in the West Village with his guitar and his revolutionary talent, destined to change the course of American music. Obviously, the Bob Dylan biopic. Spoiler alert. All right, I think being a biopic, we can kind of just spoil it. It's a dude's life that actually happened. No. I gave this 3.5 stars. I think this is a good movie that is elevated by the performances, specifically of Timothy Chalamet, Monica Barrero, and Boyd Holbrook. Who sneaky
Needed
Boyd
more
Holbrook.
Holbrook.
Yeah, dude, it did.
Needed more.
Him as Johnny Cash was so good.
Yeah.
I also will say hats off to this film. Tip the old cap to you. That this wasn't just a cookie cutter biopic. That this did try to do something different. So hats off for that. So what do you think?
I walked out of this movie and I honestly felt good. I was like, I think I was on the same page with you, like 3.5. I was like, you know what? I had a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Chalamet was great. I think which makes it especially on if I wanted to watch this again, I'm sure that would be the biggest reason for me to do so, is just because of the performance. But then I sat there for a little bit and I thought to myself, like, I got home, my mom was like, "Oh, like, how was the movie?" That was good. And I was like, "Oh, about like Bob Dylan." And I was like, "Oh, so like, tell me something about Bob Dylan." I couldn't tell her anything. I mean, I was just like, he basically, had multiple different like lovers, which is very on par for, rock stars or musicians, like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't like really a big surprise to me there.
Yeah.
Very complicated character. I mean, as most musicians, I would argue, are. Like, if you're going to make a biopic about a musician,
there's a reason why these people become these people.
Yes,
there's
exactly.
Something they got.
I think, and it sounds like it was intentional for them to just not tell us why he is the way he is. I would have liked a little bit more dialogue instead of focusing on like how he has become the way he is, or maybe a little bit more dialogue focusing on his progression from specifically folk music to electric. As we see that progression and we see it like throughout his performances, I don't really think we get the conversations as much as just like you have the festival, the individuals that run the festival and having those conversations saying, "Oh, we don't want him because he does electric." But I would maybe like to dig a little bit deeper into why that was so hated. Maybe that's universal. Maybe it's universal for why, electric was hated so much. It was like, I know they hinted at, like, someone said like, "Oh, you're the devil," which I'm like,
yeah, it was very much like the Elvis again.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
that
like shaking
that
your hips and
change,
stuff.
that quote unquote like non-proper music. And I think it's funny because I think at points it's almost like I understand where they're both coming from, which I think this movie did a good job with, where it's like, I get the Bob Dylan of it all, where it's, you want to push the genre, you want to keep moving forward. But then I also get like the Edward Norton idea of it all, where it's like, then that's different. It's not this anymore. And we want to preserve this. And I do think that was done pretty well, of like their different opinions of it throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, overall, I thought it was aesthetically pleasing movie. I thought what they put on the screen, at least stylistically, I thought looked good. I thought Timmy was great. The cast was great. I think I was just kind of disappointed. Like I said, initially I left the theater, I was pretty like, I had a good time with that. I was like ready to punch it in as a 3.5. And then the more I sat there, I was like, I wish I would have just learned a little bit more about who he is at his core.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I give it 3 stars. That doesn't mean I don't hate this movie. I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. And I think the music, more than anything, I walked away from it and I go to my phone and I start playing Bob Dylan music on Apple Music, like,
I told you yesterday. Yeah.
I mean, you know, these songs are good. He's got good music. He's a fantastic writer. I mean, I read some stuff about him after the movie because I was interested, but
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to look it up. I wish it was more like, oh, did this actually happen? This that
Yeah.
happened in the movie. Did this, so, and I think it's easy for me to compare it with the Elvis biopic because the Elvis biopic was so recent,
Mhm.
I think it's an easy one to kind of compare it with, but I am not the biggest fan of the Elvis biopic. I enjoy it.
See,
I think
I'm
it's a good
huge.
time.
I love the Elvis biopic.
I enjoy it, but I'm not like all in on it. But I think I do prefer the Elvis biopic to this.
Yeah, like, I give the Elvis biopic 5 stars. Like, I absolutely adore
Okay.
the Elvis biopic. But also, I'm like a big Elvis guy, which I think people who
Yeah.
are really big into Bob Dylan, and I think you have maybe a deeper knowledge of him
Yeah.
going in, like you appreciate this a lot more because you were like you could fill in the gaps in your mind where it's like I know this about him, I know this about him. I did know he's like a very private person, like he hates being like seen in
Yeah.
public. So like from that aspect, I do think that this captured that well.
Sure.
I think that this for me, like let's say in my mind, you could have made this movie about like Joe Johnson or whatever. I don't know, just some fake person who's made up.
Yeah.
I think though, for me, the thing that pushed this movie forward was the performances, and Timothy is so good here. Like Timothy is very, very, very good here, and I think that he is, if not already, cemented himself as like he's the guy. Like he is the one of all of this next group of actors. Like he's the one who's put his head up above the rest. He's so good here.
I mean, the fact that he could have easily been nominated for 2 performances this year, I think. There's several actors that have done that, So, but I think he was phenomenal. But with that being said, I still would rather have Coleman Domingo win the Oscar over Timothy Chalamet. Personally.
I think that you will most likely get your wish.
I hope so. Because honestly, and I know this sounds bad, but like I think Timothy Chalamet, like I think throughout his years, he's going to have better performances than this. I think it's a great performance, but I think he's going to have. He's still at a young point of his career. But
well, hang on. I think so. Okay, here's based on. Let me give you the predictions right now, or do you want to keep saying something else?
It's gonna be what's his name from The Brutalist is number 1.
Adrian
right
Brody.
Now, right?
It's Adrian
Brody.
It's gonna be Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet, Daniel Craig, Coleman Domingo, and Ralph Fiennes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even Ray, Ralph. I don't remember how specifically Ray Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes. I don't remember how you're supposed to. But I honestly, I really liked him in Conclave too. But I think Coleman Domingo's performance is one that truly got me emotional and got me.
Dude, we gotta see The Brutalist.
I understood.
It's ridiculous. I can't find it anywhere.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Hopefully the Brutalist will at least.
It's just so limited,
right?
I don't know. I really wish I could figure it out.
I mean,
it really drives me nuts.
The Golden Globes is next weekend.
Yeah, like okay, so like I have it pulled up and it just says not available anywhere near me. And like that's just not helpful. Like give me like the farthest I can go. And I just want to know.
Yeah. Dang. I mean,
like really annoying that it just isn't like, hey, it's also 14 hours away. At least I'd be like, okay, it's 14 hours away.
And Sing Sing everyone needs to see that movie. I'm just like
this movie does though have 2 of my all-time favorite like dudes in it. In Dan Fogler, who is his agent. Whenever that guy shows up in a movie or anything, I'm just like, yes, that's my guy. And the other one who's always my guy is PJ Bryan, who is a very small role in this movie. He is like one of the other guys who's on like the board of directors, I guess, for the event. He's probably best known for Nicky in The Wolf of Wall Street. He's also in Babylon. He's like the guy in like the scene where she's first acting who just is screaming at her. He's another dude who's just like, he's in stuff every couple of years that you see and you're like, that's my guy. You're like, that's him. And I just love this guy. So, also if you watched The Boys. He's Adam. He's like the director. He's like the Zack Snyder ripoff in The Boys.
Oh yes,
That
yes,
guy.
I know what
That
you're
I
talking
love
about.
that guy. I love that guy. So I hope that
Oh, he's
guy gets
hilarious.
a lot of work.
He was in.
I
He
just
was. Yeah. No, I
like
know.
he's a
I mean,
great like just bit guy. He's like there for a few minutes and he just always like improves everything. His role in Babylon is one of my favorite things. He's just so small in that, but he's so good.
I'm due for a Batman rewatch.
Also, Timothy Chalamet owns Christmas right now. So Wonka last year, this year, and next year we got Marty Supreme, directed by one of the Safdie brothers. So kind of full circle once again.
And can I also say the whole campaign that he's done for this
has been great.
It's just like an all-time like dudes rock campaign. Like he's just like, the interview at the vinyl store, the interview on Theo Vaughn. I mean, at his core, he is a human being and he is so likable.
He's just a dude. Like it's crazy. He's just like a guy.
He goes on College Game Day. I'm just like,
yeah.
How do you hate this guy? This guy is, I mean, full glaze at this point. I mean, this guy rocks. Everything he's in, he elevates it, and he goes on Game Day. He goes on Theo Vaughn, and he's hilarious. He's genuinely so funny. So it's so easy to root for him right now too, when he's got all these awesome projects. And obviously, I'm gonna glaze Dune until the Oscars and far beyond it. But Timmy,
I'm with you.
Our glorious king.
Good. Come on the pod, Timmy.
Yes.
All right. Nosferatu. Let's do it. Nosferatu, baby.
Nosferatu.
I gave this 4 stars. I think this is another one. I think it works to say spoilers. Spoilers for Nosferatu. It's hard to talk about this without spoilers because you want to talk about Count Orlok himself, and it's kind of hard to jump into that without spoiling it. This ties into the story from earlier first about Robert Eggers.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's also seen The Muppet Christmas Carol, the opening shots of this movie where they're going around the town, doesn't it feel pretty similar to The Muppet Christmas Carol?
Yes. I was going to bring that up.
I was waiting for like the no cheeses for us Mises, but it's rats instead. I did love that a little bit, but getting into all seriousness, I think this movie is truly, truly incredible. And I will say, of all of his movies, I think this is the most accessible. I think this is the most straightforward of like plot wise. Like if you watch The Northman's a bit, I'm not trying to be like, they're like artsy and they're hard to follow, but like they're less structured, I think, in the traditional sense, where this is very traditional in its structure and pacing.
Pretty mainstream, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that is a testament to its box office right now, which is already the biggest of his career. But I think it was necessary in this story because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here. And it all works. It does. It all works. I think it is really, really well done. And shout out Lily Rose Depp, man. Great performance by Lily Rose Depp. Good for her.
Yeah.
I think she needed to win after that weird movie shoot or TV show she was in on HBO.
Yeah, The Weeknd is a freaky man. But
yeah.
I'm glad. Well, maybe if she wasn't in that, maybe somebody would have seen the potential. So
yeah, true. Who
knows?
Yeah, the Idol.
All roads lead back to Nosferatu and Robert Eggers.
all roads back go back to Nicholas Hoult, who also is just so good here. Who's so good here.
The whole scene of him at the dining room table where he is just, I mean, his face just looks like he's crying. He's audibly like crying. He's scared. He's terrified. He's being like he's being moved.
I don't know how he does that.
Transported.
He flexes like every ability, but it's frozen. It's so good.
It's unreal. How did you feel about Count Orlok?
I think it was a very incredible performance that I didn't love the look of him.
Okay.
I think you had to go more into like either direction. I think they were very in the middle of like he is a dude who's kind of rotting away, where I kind of wish they went more into like the creepy of it all, or more like into like the man of it all, instead of this middle area, which I think does work. But I think he looked different so much. Like he looked in the final scene of him where he's dead. He looks so different there than he did when he rises out of the sarcophagus or whatever, chasing down.
He was naked, man. He was naked.
He was naked. He was very naked. Also, shocking, this is the second movie this holiday season to kill off a kid, and the other one was Sonic 3. So, like, what are the odds?
Basically the same movie. I mean,
basically the same movie.
Basically,
yeah. They have to overcome the darkness that was Shadow the Hedgehog. I really love this though. This was so good.
I left the theater after watching it for the first time, and I was a little conflicted. Mm-hmm. And I think watching Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Have you seen that by any chance?
No, but I was actually going to ask if you have seen Interview with a Vampire.
I've not.
So that is, I think, another one where I think this is a better version of a vampire tale.
Because like I said, I didn't know much about vampires, so I watched Coppola's version of Dracula.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in this movie. Maybe I just didn't educate myself enough, but I had no idea that this and the Dracula storyline are basically bar for bar. But like
he is.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just like, these two movies are basically, you can use my homework, but change it up a little bit. Like Nosferatu and Dracula, those storylines. So, and I think I could spot the differences between the two very easily. Stylistically, I think I enjoy this one as opposed to Coppola's version, which I feel like is kind of a hot take. But I did like Count Orlok. I did. And I think the choice to not show him in the light, I mean, not in the full, I mean, obviously at the very end, he is in the light.
Yeah.
But for the majority of the time, he's still pretty like dark. And even when he hops out of the sarcophagus, like as you were saying, he's like, you still don't get a great look at him, you know?
Yeah, until the end when he's like
melting. Yeah. How did you feel about Aaron Taylor Johnson?
I really liked him. I was people hating on him. Okay. I was like, what? Yeah. Where was the hate? I thought he was very good here. I was like, this is the Aaron Taylor Johnson. I was like, I think that exists. And he just got chopped up to no degree in Craven. I was like, this is the guy that I know.
I love him.
Also,
I
just like the most
so good.
He's so good. He's just so jacked. Like, it's not even funny how jacked he is.
Yeah.
Like, if he's jacked in like medieval outfits, like it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, the drip. I mean,
yeah, the drip in this movie. I wish we dressed like this still. It would be incredible. They all dress so well. Willem Dafoe dressed so well here.
Yes. I really liked him.
Willem Dafoe's character. Listen, if I had to pick a movie to be a guy in the movie, I want to be Willem Dafoe's friend in this movie. Because he is so cool. He just got all the little oddities. He's just into like the dark magic, but he's like, whoa, I can't do any of it or help you there.
Yeah.
Like he's just like the all-time, like, I know this, but can't do anything about it guy.
Yeah.
He just knows ball. Like
he does.
He's like the guy who like could coach really well, but can never play the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, Ralph Ineson as the other doctor.
Severs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved the scene where he's like, we could go to my professor. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's like, why did you not say this earlier? He's like, he's a little crazy.
Why would you say this earlier, crazy man?
Yeah,
good man.
I love that little, just, there's one last guy we can go to. It's Willem Dafoe. I don't think this movie is like groundbreaking or anything. I don't think it's like this is like the next step in horror evolution. I think it's just really solid and exactly what I wanted from it. Like, it didn't change my life, but I think it's just a very well done movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that is what I would like out of this.
Yeah, I when I saw it the first time, I basically got to where he got to the castle, and then I was kind of like, I kind of didn't love it as much after then. I was just kind of like, I kind of already know this story, wasn't that interested. And then I saw it again, and the second time I saw it, I swear I was locked in just the entire time.
Yeah.
And specifically, the first time I saw it, the shot of Nicholas Holt's character in the snow as the carriage approaches him and the snow is falling.
It's just anxiety.
It makes you anxious. It is
Yes.
beautiful. It's like scary, but the snow is there to kind of like offset this darkness. It's perfect. And I saw it for the second time, and my friend whispers over to me, he's like, dude, that's such a good shot. And I'm just like,
it is.
It was okay, so good.
And this is what makes me so mad, because it's like, okay, you just watch Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, right?
Yeah.
So you see when someone is given a budget, what they can do with the camera.
Yeah.
And the budget of this is not that big.
It's
like
50.
The budget,
it's 50.
Yes, it's 50. Yes. Okay, I'm looking right now. 50. Yeah, 50 million.
Yeah.
Like that should be like the most average shot in like these humongous blockbusters. And it's so annoying it's not. I know we talk about this a lot, but like it's so frustrating that you can like go and watch a $400 million movie and it's like that looked like something that's made for Netflix. And then you see this, and you see like his hand going over the city is just so incredible. Or like even in the beginning, his shadow like casting onto like the drapes, but he's not there. Yeah, it's just so good. It just drives me nuts that like it's not so annoying.
I will say I wasn't necessarily like, it was more of an uneasy feeling throughout the movie. I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't feel like scared. Does that make sense? Like I wasn't necessarily.
I was more like it was just nerves. I was like, it was like anxiety. It was anxiety for me the moment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I don't think I ever felt like fearful for some of the characters. I think the one time I was fearful for the characters was the children.
Oh, dude, they were goners from the jump. They were gone. The second they got introduced, I was like, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
They're like screaming at the beginning and they're like, don't let the monster take us. I'm like, oh, crap. No, I agree. I just think this movie is so well done. I think it looks great. It's so well acted that I can kind of ignore some of the choices that were made for the storyline. But I do wish there were a little bit more stronger choices done for the storyline, especially after watching Dracula.
Yeah.
And there are major differences between the characters. Like Dracula can go in the sunlight, but he's weaker and he can transform back into a younger version of himself.
Yeah.
Like that's what Dracula can do as opposed to Nosferatu. I didn't know that, and I kind of like educated myself through these movies, and I did enjoy it, but I think
I did like that too. The Willem Dafoe line about like there's a lot of different things people think about these beings.
Yes.
There's only a few through. I like that because I was like, I think as audience, you're like, okay, just get some garlic, get a wooden stick, and let it go. Like that's all we need.
I mean, I think there were some just great like one-liners in here too. It's like, does darkness come within us or from beyond? Like the Lily Rose Depp like line, like that one's just like awesome. And then there's the line from Willem Dafoe. It's like, in order for us to face darkness, we must first believe or like tell ourselves that it exists. Like something along those lines. I can probably pull it up.
Yeah.
But it's like
I am of the group though that listen, this movie would have been about 25 minutes if I was in it. If I was Nicholas Holt's character, the second the village was like, don't go up there.
Yeah.
I would have gone home. I would have been like, sorry, he just didn't answer the door. Like it didn't work out. I would have just went home. I'm good. Crazy that he went there. Would have had to turn back.
That was. Well, dude, as soon as the carriage comes and just whips, it opens the door automatically so perfectly. And then,
it does like a sick drift.
Yeah. The sequence where he's about to walk into the castle, but he basically has to go in by his own like his own autonomy? Is that like it has to be
Yeah.
like an autonomous decision? Like he has to go in himself because like I think in order for him to like he has to I don't remember exactly what like the lore is, but like he
No, I
can't
know what it's
capture
about.
him.
Yeah, so I think part of the lore is that vampires cannot go in somewhere they're not invited, which is why every time that she would talk to him, she would open the windows before as
Yeah.
like inviting
Okay.
him in. And I did
Gotcha.
like that little touch.
Yeah. I saw. I mean, first off, like this movie is just like I was. It's very freaky, like
Yeah, very freaky.
freaky. Not necessarily in like the horror sense, but the romantic sense, I guess. You know, because I think like at its core, this movie is like basically like a love story between a
It's a
vampire and
rom-com.
a woman.
Yeah.
Put Glenn Powell in it. This is 5 stars. I mean, what are we doing here? Like Robert, what's going on, pal?
Yeah, what's going on here? I really liked it.
I think though it is something where this vampire story is going to be your cup of tea or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can sit there and say it's aesthetically pleasing, cinematography is great, it's very well acted, but I think you can still come out of this movie and say, I really didn't love it. And I think like some of the people I watched it with, that's kind of how they felt. And I'm like, totally understand.
Mm-hmm. I'm also of the. I think this is going to age very well. I think of all of his movies, I think this is going to be the one that we talk about for like a long time coming. Where like even the Lighthouse and everything, I think that had like a period of time where we talked about it. I do think that this is the one that's going to stand the test. Just because it's easier to get into it. I think it's easier to like jump in.
Yeah.
So,
what are your Robert Eggers rankings? Like, where would you?
I think
or place. I mean, I guess what would this his?
I think this is number 2 for me. I'm not a big Northman guy. I think that Lighthouse is number 1. I think Nosferatu, Witch, and the Northman. Which I need to rewatch The Witch because I don't even have it on Letterboxd actually right now.
Okay.
The Witch.
Yeah, the Witch.
The Witch.
I think I have this at 2 as well. I think mine's a complete opposite of yours, though. I think mine's the Northman. Nosferatu, the Witch, and then the Lighthouse. Not that the Lighthouse is bad. I just think it's the one I enjoyed the least.
If I ever got to talk to Robert Eggers, I would ask if he regrets not casting Willem Dafoe in The Witch. That'd probably be the first thing I ask him.
Yeah,
because he already cast Willem Dafoe for his next 2 movies, and Willem Dafoe was like, "Oh, you have 2 more planned?" He's like, "No, you're gonna be in them." So that's pretty sick. Just guys being dudes.
That's awesome.
All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I mean obviously, January is going to be a very interesting month. I mean, for any of the listeners out there, if there's anything you want to hear from us on past releases, or
we do have. So here's my plan as follows. Thoughts on this? Mm-hmm. Next week, Wallace and Gromit comes out on Netflix the 2nd, I think. Let me double check that. Before we actually make a full take here. Yes. Okay. So Wallace and Gromit, we'll talk about next week, and we'll also do our draft for box office. The following week, we'll be talking Den of Thieves 2. Mm-hmm. Pretty pumped for that, actually. Den of Thieves 2, and we'll do our 2024 best of. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what's our favorites of the last year. Then we'll have Wolfman and Flight Risk. So we got something every single week. And then we have Companion, starring our good boy Jack Quaid, and Love Hurts. So we actually have something every single week up until the 28th of February.
Okay.
How about that?
Well, if anyone who is listening has recommendations for what they would like to hear for the, I guess, February 28th, send us a message, whether personally, if you're friends or family, or on our Instagram at the Real Serious
leave a
Podcast.
comment.
Obviously, because we like to kind of like watch what we want to, but then also it's also fun to watch some things that aren't necessarily our favorite or something that we would immediately go to, but try something new every once in a while. So always open to some new ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, that's all we got. Hope you enjoy your New Year's. Next time we'll talk to you will be next year. See you next year, everybody, for our 1 year anniversary of the pod. But until then, hey, I can promise you this. Next week, we'll be here. Unlike the Batman Part 2. We'll see you then. Have a good week at the movies, everybody.